I'm sure if you see the other side of me, I'm sure you won't believe it.
If this company is not a scam and they really want to show that they are not scams, they would have started paying people by now. I'm not blaming you. If it was in developed countries, they know how to do this thing, how to get this thing done.
In the age of pyramid and Ponzi schemes, the only real thing is your bank account balance.
Money is usually not my problem, but right now I need money.
But what if you were to get a very juicy offer from a very credible company with a well-respected founder and CEO? Would you turn it down?
For the company, I'm the portfolio manager.
I'm not even hearing that anybody is being paid.
It happened on a Monday morning. The 14th day of March 2022. The Nigerian Securities and Exchange Commission had got wind of a company running an illegal investment program with very juicy offers for its investors. This company claimed to be a conglomerate with over 200 subsidiaries. They have business interests in almost everything, ranging from real estate investment, agriculture, information technology management, and building and construction. The company even claims to have a microfinance bank as well as print media, renewable energy, even an oil and gas arm. Wait, this is like a company that does everything yet is not publicly traded in the Nigerian stock market. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Anyways, focus. The Nigerian SEC decided that the activities of this company were illegal and they locked its buildings and offices around the country. In response to this, the company issued a statement claiming it already started the process of registration with the SEC months prior to this action by the regulatory body. While public statements were being issued to calm the investors, employees who were recruited by this company to recruit these large numbers of investors were in fact hearing a different story. A story that even I am too scared to share with you. But thanks to one of those employees who was so courageous as to come forward with this damning information, I ask, is Oxford International Group one giant Ponzi scheme?
I had this idea that we are pushing something, not knowing that I'm working for organized fraudulent company.
We are here to defend him on the 3-count matter.
Long story short, we hear a story too good to be true. It ain't.
A Nigerian entrepreneur who worked at Oxford between 2021 and 2022. His story is a very good place to start.
My name's 𝗪𝗵𝗲𝗂𝗂𝗏.
Aminu had returned to Nigeria in 2019 to the federal capital city of Abuja, where he decided to settle with his newly wedded wife. This was after he was done with his national youth service. Aminu, who was staying in an estate at the heart of Abuja, heard of an opportunity to own his own landed property in the city, and he decided to check it out. Being new in this city, he didn't know his way around much, but was able to get to the location somewhere in Maitama where he was told the company was located. That is the company selling these presidential lands. But on arriving there, he met a huge crowd, mostly young people. Wait, are they all here to get lands? Is there some kind of free land sharing going on here? He wondered to himself. When he stepped inside the building, he realized that the company was actually doing an interview. He was later directed to meet a lady.
The lady, it's 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 they came to Abuja to recruit.
She told Aminu that they only had lands in Lagos and are yet to begin that aspect of their business in Abuja. He was then offered a form to fill with the promise that they would get back to him with more information when the lands in Abuja were available for sale. While filling this form, Aminu realized that this was an employment form, but he wasn't here for an employment. He was here for inquiry, not to get a job. So he cancelled what he had written and returned the form to them. With that, he left the building. 2 weeks later, this company made their first attempt at recruiting Aminu. They called him and told him that instead of waiting to buy this land, he should invest the money with them and get ROI after 1 year, and that when the land is made available, he would have had more cash to play with.
Well, that's a good idea, but I wasn't really that interested at that particular time.
This was when they let out another juicy offer. The Oxford International Group agent told Aminu that he could join the company and be their marketer. This way, he could be earning based on commission for whomever he introduces to the company. So now, there were now two ways for Aminu to earn extra income from Oxford. He could invest his money meant for land and get ROI after 1 year, and he can serve as a recruitment officer and bring in more people into the company and get paid on commissions. Does this connect some dots for you yet, or you ain't still following? The offer of a job opportunity which can add a good extra income was hard to turn down, especially for Aminu, who has a young wife to take care of, and with the uncertainty of business, he believed he was looking out for himself when he decided to accept the offer of the job. Oxford immediately sent him an employment letter, and in that letter, he was named the managing director of a subsidiary.
I was like, wow, okay, this is kind of an MD of a subsidiary. But anyway, I was kind of happy, but I was kind of like, okay, because it's not easy to just get an MD of a just MD position like that of subsidiary. So I didn't understand the emotion behind that, and they gave me an operation manager and OPS, and the OPS was actually also went for the interview. That I don't know when she went, but I think based on the location we stay in Abuja, so I think we both stay in the same location, so that's why they located her to me.
Now, let's get this straight. This was someone who wasn't looking for a job. He didn't fill the job application form and he didn't take any interviews, but now he was being offered the job of a managing director of a subsidiary of an investment company. Great stuff, if you ask me. After lots of convincing, Aminu agreed to take the job. As a marketer, he wasn't entitled to any salaries. His payments were to come as commissions. He was happy with that, and he started to put in the work. He began by attending meetings, seminars, and trainings where they were taught more about the company. Now, let's pause with Aminu's story here for a moment. We will get back into it shortly. It's time we talk about this Oxford group. Who are they? What do they do? How were they able to convince Aminu and lots of other marketers to join the train?
Barrister Seun, I saw her in the office, so she tried to convince me, like she showed me deed of agreements, people check investors that have invested that they're actually in abroad and they've not collected their checks and all that, that it's actually trusted. I can see the company. So I also saw the petrol station they have and all that. I was a little bit convinced.
This is 𝗘𝗾𝘂𝗧𝘂𝗧𝗂𝗧, the founder and CEO of Oxford International Group. Some years ago, he founded this company, and according to them, they have active business operations in Rwanda and Benin Republic. Oxford claims to have many business interests, and they need marketers to help promote their many products to consumers who are also their investors. In the meetings and seminars organized for their marketers, Oxford teaches them about these products, which include AgroVest, BuildVest, MortgageVest, DredgeVest, SafeVest. Now, if you're wondering what the hell is the vest all over, no, these are not like bulletproof vest or anything. The vest there means investment. So when you subscribe to the AgroVest package, you are investing in the agricultural arm of the company. The BuildVest covers the land and building. There too is the MortgageVest. The DredgeVest had to do with their dredging company, while SafeVest is for those interested in saving large amounts of money with the company. Something like that. So Oxford is basically like an octopus with its tentacles in almost every business you can think of. So if this company is into all of these businesses and has lots of investment in these real sectors of the economy, why do they need people's money to operate? If Oxford has real investment in real estate and dredging and does mortgages as well as agriculture, why do they need these large numbers of marketers to keep on bringing in new investors and investments into already thriving businesses? Let's get back to Aminu, who is seated and waiting for another episode of the marketers training. So
this was in May 2021. The training was every Monday. I can't remember, every Monday.
In this meeting, Aminu and co were told of the companies that were associated with Oxford. According to the management, these companies were the ones doing the business, while the marketers were responsible for bringing in the cash to expand the operations of these companies so as to maximize profits. The companies include Octopus, FoxPay, GTBet, Safegate Microfinance Bank, Echo Properties, Oxford Dredging, Oxford Green Farms, Oxford Electro Hub, and Home Sweet Home. Aminu and the other marketers were trained on how to convince people to join the investment packages. In all the meetings, the setup was always like those seminars for MLM companies, and nothing about product sales was ever discussed, but just how to convince people to join. These were basically recruitment trainings. Now, there was a format for recruiting an investor, and Aminu was desperate to learn it.
I didn't tell anybody, I didn't market, but I tried it myself because I wanted a situation whereby I want to know the process. Okay, so I did my first investment in June. Although they didn't know, but I used my company's name to do the investment.
After months of trying this process and understanding how it worked, Aminu was convinced and started to recruit his family. The more investment he brought in, the higher his portfolio within the company. It got to a level that gave him a district manager and wanted him to get an office of his own. His commission was coming in nice and good, and everything seemed fine, at least for the time being. After about 6 months of working with Oxford, Aminu became concerned that in all his meetings, there was never a discussion about the progress of these companies which they claimed were doing the businesses. They were only discussing how to bring in more people. This was becoming concerning, most especially because he noticed that Oxford was opening more and more branches, but these branches were not selling any products or services. They were only positioned as investment centers for more clients to come and deposit their money, buying up investment slots within the company.
After like 6 months to 7 months being with Oxford, now, event upon event, I've never heard Oxford telling us the progress and the expansion of these companies itself. It was based on marketing, on how to convince marketers to bring money, always how to convince clients to bring money, how to convince clients. So it's done on me.
So apparently the company remained with just one filling station, just one microfinance bank, just one branch of its dredging company, wherever that was. But somehow they now have multiple offices where people can walk in and buy investment packages. So it was now looking like a pyramid scheme.
What other package makes you a member of its cooperative?
When Aminu demanded for videos of the farms and agricultural products the company claimed it had, he was shut down by the GMD. No discussions around this topic was allowed. In his frustration, he decided to investigate this company to find out exactly what he had gotten himself into, and that was when the truth started to unravel.
I tried to get somebody in Ogun State where they said claim their farm is. The person will always tell me that they said they were going to reschedule, they'll reschedule, but the person for one day has never gone to that particular farm. So because I needed to know, I was now curious on the businesses. That's why I started digging. I realized that the businesses aspect is not even the fashion, the cloth, they claim that they have a fashion house. It's just one small store like that, and they brought one person and he does only the clothes for only the top members, like the chairman. He put Oxford something here and all that.
From his investigations, Aminu discovered something was not right. In his calculations, he found that from every investment made into the company, at least 50% from that money is already spent on commissions and not invested into any business anywhere. So, to pay these investors back their money, the company would need to use that 50% to generate at least 100% profit and more within a year. This applies to every investment received into the company. But hold on, remember the company is also spending this money they get on expansion, building and renting new office spaces, furnishing these offices and paying its executives. And then there are other logistics around all of these operations being spent from investors' funds. Aminu also found out that some of these companies and investments that Oxford claims to have are not even profitable, at least not yet. So how was he and others going to get their full capital plus ROI in 1 year time? With all these expenses, it looked mathematically impossible. But they were still being told to bring in more people, recruit more, put more effort into marketing. Oxford needs more money for expansion.
People see it as this commission. It drives them to go and market so that they can get this commission, because it's not like you wait for the salary month end, you wait for the salary, but any money you can bring, they pay you the commission about it. Any money you bring, they pay you. So some people can market to this extent that they can get substantial money to, run their family and all that.
Aminu, despite his findings, continued to work normally, like nothing was wrong. This was until the SEC hit them. According to Aminu, the management had told them that they had been trying to get the SEC certification for months, but that the government regulatory body was delaying the process. Meanwhile, the SEC had said that they were shutting down Oxford because they were operating illegally without license. The contradictory statements clearly showed that someone is lying. Following the closure of their offices, the SEC froze all accounts belonging to Oxford. This was when the management revealed to its marketers that the government agency had told them that they must pay back at least 80% of their clients' money to have their accounts reopened. When this was disclosed to them, Aminu and others thought the company would swiftly do that from the thriving businesses they claimed they had. But they were in for the shock of their lives.
At that time, the account was PND. Internally, what they told us was that SEC said that they should pay 80% of their clients, okay, before they release the account. So the thing that now make me worry is that you said you want to pay 80% of your client. They told you to pay 80% of your client. Now, the businesses you claim that is operational and all that, that is where I feel that the money should come out from, to pay 80% of your clients so that business continue to go. But they said that no, we need to be marketing more. So to me, at that time, it dawned on me that, so these guys, now they want us to go and market, get more clients, get the money, then you now use that money and pay another client.
With the SEC trouble and marketers finding out that these businesses were not real and not bringing in any profits, Oxford started what I think is the most manipulating effort by a company to keep getting money from its investors. The group told its marketers to encourage their clients to roll over. That is, they should forget about cashing out their investments when they mature, at least for 1 more year. This would mean these investors won't be paid even their returns on investments. Everything will be given back to the company. This, I must say, is a sick strategy, and it worked.
So we're encouraging people to roll over. There was a client too who paid up to like 2 billion, not from my own side, from Lagos. She was able to convince her client to roll over and all that.
But this new development didn't sit well with some of the marketers, and they started digging more into the company.
I told him something last year when I became the GC.
When they did, they found that the top management was involved in flamboyant spending, going on luxurious, all-expense-paid trips. In fact, they found out that the chairman was given a new house for his birthday by the group, and somehow about 300 million naira was said to be missing. The company told the marketers to give them time, that they will eventually pay the clients, but no payment was made. Now, this was devastating for the marketers because they were responsible for these clients. They had introduced them to Oxford and had promised them that their funds were safe. Months later, these marketers would find out that Oxford's account had been released, yet no payments were being made. Rather, they started noticing resignations of top officials from the company without proper information of what was happening. In their defense, Oxford claimed it had paid the 80% demanded by SEC. Meanwhile, the marketers asked their clients if they had received their money, and they said no. So who were the clients that Oxford claimed to have paid? When Aminu and his colleagues tried to raise complaints to the management that their clients were yet to be paid, the company management shut them out and started recruiting a new set of marketers. Oxford also started to roll out new products for new sets of investors. This time they called it AgroLife, and they began changing the color of their buildings. It was almost like rebranding the whole company. But they didn't stop there. They changed their website from Oxford International Group to AgroLife. So with this, Oxford now placed the old marketers and old clients along with the products on hold, all while rolling out new sets of products, with new marketers working to recruit new sets of investors. This is wild. If you have followed this story to this moment, then I'm sure you must have come to some form of conclusion at what is going on here. Oxford is a very big company, obviously, and a lot of people are invested into whatever they are running. I don't know whether to call it a Ponzi scheme or not, but from my lengthy conversation with this ex-employee of the company, I think something really shady is going on here, and it warrants real investigation by whatever body is in charge of this. To watch this full interview, you need to join my Patreon with the link below. It is an hour-long interview, and you will get insight into the operations of this giant company that, if care is not taken, is set to break a lot of hearts. If you're asking about the new investment package they rolled out, well, it turned out people who invested in the AgroLife didn't get their money as at when due. And they rolled out yet another one, this time 𝗪𝗺𝗏𝗏. All of these products are aimed at getting in more money for Oxford. Aminu, who took the bold step to reveal the inner workings of this company, invested about 10 million naira, and he along with his entire family are still waiting and hoping that they get their money back one day. But as we keep counting days and weeks and months, even possibly years leading up to that fateful day, again, I ask, is Oxford International Group a Ponzi scheme?
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, you can use the link below to join my Patreon to get access to the entire 1 hour long interview. I also have some very interesting content for you there. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.